Thousands of commuters have been left stranded in Cape Town this morning as most taxi operators go on strike. They've also shut down major routes heading into the city centre. Some 2,000 taxi drivers are marching to the Western Cape Premier's office over impounded taxis and other grievances. Our reporter Monique Mortlock has been tracking commuters. Let's cross to her now. Monique, we heard this morning issues with burning buses, I think 3 buses set alight, and commuters actually terrified and too scared to go to taxi ranks because of word of violence at those centres. What have you been hearing?
Yes, and also earlier this morning we know that 3 Golden Arrow buses were attacked here in eNCA. It seems as if security in terms of law enforcement officers, police presence has really been stepped up. As we were entering eNCA, there were at least a dozen law enforcement vehicles stationed at the entrance of eNCA, obviously there just in case of any flare-ups in taxi violence. Here where I'm standing right now, commuters are waiting for buses, as you can see, and we have heard from Golden Arrow that those attacks that happened earlier this morning, those 3 buses that were attacked, that 4 people were injured, at least 4 people were injured in those attacks. Here, commuters are just patiently waiting for those buses to arrive. Earlier this morning, we know that it was a lot busier during that peak time morning rush. As my colleague Zaid and I were driving on the N2 today, we saw law enforcement vehicles stationed at various points, not only here in eNCA but also Khayelitsha, and a little further down, also just before Khayelitsha, also some more law enforcement vehicles. So it seems as if there's a high police presence just to ensure that there aren't any more flare-ups in the violence. But commuters, as you mentioned, obviously concerned about what's been happening, just wanting to get to work, some wanting to get to school. Let's just see if anyone will speak to us. Good morning, sir. Oh, okay, people are rushing to work. Okay, they're going now. They want to get their buses. Okay. And we know that earlier this morning there were also some commuters who had to get off of taxis because taxis were dropping them on the N2. Some taxi drivers also coming under fire, those who decided not to take part in the strike. We heard from a Bonteheuwel ward councillor, Angus Mackenzie, that in Bonteheuwel at least 5 taxis have been attacked because these taxi drivers have decided not to take part in the taxi strike. As you can see, commuters are making... Sorry, morning, sir. I just wanted to check with you. Has the taxi strike impacted your morning at all?
It has impacted my morning because I was supposed to be at work by now, but because of the strike, then I'm not there yet. So, and I've heard that the buses are moving here by the police station. So I was taking a risk by coming here because the taxi strike, sorry, it's really bad.
And how have you informed your bosses at all? Are they being understanding with your situation?
Because they say it in news and it has been panning on social media, so they know that I'll be late at work now.
What do you think? Do you rather think, let me just leave it and rather not go to work because at this rate it seems as if it's going to be a bit of a battle? Or are you going to still keep trying to wait for a bus that might take you there?
No, I'll wait for a bus that might take me there and they'll organize a transport for me to come back home.
And my final question, are you concerned at all being on a bus? Because this morning we heard that 3 buses were attacked.
I'm taking the risk. I don't know. I'm just taking the risk.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a safe travel.
Thank you.
They heard it from a commuter. He's saying he's going to take that risk because he needs to get to work, but thankfully his manager is being understanding about the situation.
Monique, I think the big question that so many viewers watching you now will be asking is, what about the trip home? What are the chances of getting from the CBD primarily back to places like eNCA, Khayelitsha, Langa, etc.?
And And this is actually something that I have inquired traffic officials about. They said that they will remain on high alert throughout the day, because we know that at the moment where my colleague is, Nobesuthu Hejana, that's in town where taxi drivers are making their way to the Premier's office to hand over that memorandum, that hopefully after that is done, that they will continue with their services. But from what I've heard from taxi drivers, they won't, that they will be downing their tools for the rest of the day. So it's likely to be chaotic later on, around about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, when people start making their way back home, trying to find alternative solutions to finding their way back home. But we'll definitely keep track of how commuters will be handling that.
Yeah, really unfortunate for our commuters who rely on that transport. And as we know, the train services, Monique, are not up to scratch either.